Hello everyone, and here is another VHS rewind. Today we got Out of Time, and well, it's actually a lot better than I thought it was gonna be. Because I mean, the rating is pretty bad online, but it's always not vindictive that the movie's gonna be awful. Sometimes I would say probably about 75% of the time, the usually the ratings are somewhat accurate, but this time I wouldn't say. I mean, they were saying it's a 37% movie, and it's just not. So I guess the synopsis is that in well, the Florida Keys, a small town surrounded by um, is Cersei seas and sultry secrets. Chief of Police Matt Whitlock finds himself caught in the eye of the storm and about to get blown away. Investigating the murder of a woman he was secretly seeing, Matt races to uncover a murky trail of stolen money, drugs, and deceit, all while staying two steps ahead of the two detectives because of all the evidence points to him. So yeah, that's exactly kind of where probably the best part of the movie. It's hilarious though. At first, when he is just chilling in his house in like the beginning of the movie, he looks ridiculous. He looks like Paul Blart. I mean, like legit. His shorts, they're just too damn short, and it's Denzel Washington we're talking about. So it doesn't make a lot of sense. Even in Florida, what I kind of don't understand is he's supposed to be a police chief, but it's not just his look throughout the movie. It's just the kind of the attitude and kind of the presence. He doesn't seem that much like. He seems more like a detective or hire a lieutenant, but he doesn't seem like the captain of the police force. And the police force, even for a small town, seems pretty like the all the police characters are pretty lackluster. I will say though that when I first put this movie in, the trailers were pretty hilarious. There was this one that was for like a Robert Duvall movie where he's like like the tango assassin, and it's just ridiculous. And the whole thing is just they're trying to make him look younger, and it's just so funny. And then there's another movie with there's this like total 2000s movie where there was like I'm trying to think of the name of the actress. There was Dakota Fanning, and then there was Brittany Murphy. They were in like some Uptown Girls thing, and they had like Avril Lavigne playing in the background, like Complicated. It's like, could that be any more 2003? And the weird thing too to me is that all the VHSs that I found at that store, a lot of them were from 2003. It's like, was that like the final year of VHSs? We even got one of these old like Hollywood Video. They were like the knockoff brand of Blockbuster, but to me they were better. In fact, when I lived in Sebastopol, we had a pretty decent video store. I think it was Bradley Video. There was Bradley Video, and then there's another one. But anyways, it just that caught me off guard of just because all the other VHSs like Jurassic Park and stuff, I just put it in and it worked, and it was weird. There was no trailers. But yeah, this is I mean, Eva Mendes is in it, and I think she has a pretty decent. I think she's a pretty decent actress. She's not just a hottie. Then there's his part is I can't even remember his partner, to be honest, but he's okay. He's a little bit forgettable, but he's not the worst character, I would say. He just kind of seems like that guy with the long hair from 30 Rock, whatever that guy's name was. I don't even remember his name either, but they were very similar characters in that way. They're kind of, like Dwight Schrute-ish, like douchey, and I don't know. There's this kind of weird vibe you get from it, kind of thing. His performance was weak. I would say there's this like whole plot line of like this, him falling in love with this woman. And then, of course, the woman, they were like high school sweethearts. I didn't really get that until the end of the movie, but they said that, which was weird because it's like you would think that he would have just said that in the beginning of the movie, but movie moves pretty quick because I went to the bathroom and like low key, the next scene, he goes from like trying to get this woman to like straight up like he goes to investigating this woman saying that there's a break-in her house to straight up like having sex with her, and it's like, wow, that was quick. I literally just went to the bathroom for like a minute. So the movie in the beginning, I'd say the first half, setting up the betrayal and all that. It takes a while. It's very slow moving. It's only an hour and 45-minute movie, but that part is just so slow. I don't think half the movie needed to be relegated to that. But there's this whole scene where, and some of the visuals I would have to say too, even in the beginning, are actually not bad. You know, the funniest one though had to be when there's a bay, and there's a pelican in it, and I was just thinking like, man, you know, he did a movie like I think 2 years before where he's saying everyone should go out. I'm gonna send you out to Pelican Bay, and it's just too funny to me. And then there was, I don't know, there was just little things like that that were, I don't know, just little tie-ins, I guess. They weren't meant to be, but they kind of were. But yeah, it's pretty solid by what Denzel Washington kind of does throughout the movie. They kind of set up these two different plot lines where he's getting screwed over by this woman and this husband that kind of just faked their deaths with this doctor. That was kind of obvious to me that that's what they were gonna do, because they zoom in on this like pen, like this doctor is using like this pen thing, and then all of a sudden it's like, you know, he kind of leaves it, and then the camera, it like zooms way in on it, and so it's like, well, obviously that's going to be a main factor. And of course it becomes evident because this fake doctor, he figures out that his prints are on it, you know, because your prints would show up all over it. So it's pretty interesting in that way, like the way he was thinking. Like, I think one of the best scenes is the fax scene, where it's like he's like trying to cover his own crimes up. No, they're crimes, but he doesn't know they're dead. They're not dead. He's like, you know, this person's on the phone saying like, oh, I'm going to send you a fax of all the phone records, and he's like trying to edit them as fast as he can on his computer, old school computer, and then he like sends a fax to the machine, tries to take he puts a fake like fax on the top, like to photocopy it, and then like he cancels the order. Like, he goes in the back, he's like, oh yeah, let me just yeah, you just kind of got to fidget it. He unplugs the fax machine, plugs it back in, cancels the fax, and then he also, you know, his hands are like this, so he pushes the other button for the photocopy, and then the lady's like, well, this didn't come out that well, and he's like, no, we're good, I can read it. It's like, damn, that was some smart ass shit. Like, not gonna lie, I was not expecting, like, I don't know, I wasn't expecting him to do stuff like that. That's a very memorable scene to me. He did all sorts of shit like that in the movie. I'm trying to think of other stuff that he did. Well, there was like this room key thing. So he calls in on like, he's like driving in. He's like, yeah, so I'm like John, I can't remember that guy's name. It was John something, you know, and like, oh yeah, you know, it's like yeah, so I just got locked out of my room, or no, I want to check my voicemail on my room number, and it's like, oh, and the lady's like, oh yeah, what room number? And he's like, oh, well, I just checked in, so I just checked in, so I don't actually know, all that kind of stuff. And next thing you know, she's like, oh yeah, it's room 714, and then he shows up at the lobby, and he's like, yeah, can I get I need another key for my room, John something or whatever, and like, oh yeah, room 714. He's like, yeah, room 714. So it was just like, oh man, like, that was such a smart, like, there was just so many like smart instances, like even when he break at the end of the movie, when all this, like, there's like backstabbing and all these people get, like, the person that he loves gets, that chick shoots her husband, and then she shoots him, and then like Eva Mendes shows up and shoots her, and like Eva Mendes, they had this kind of relationship where he's divorced, and they were kind of like trying to mend it, and it was clear that they were going to get back together at the end of the movie. But they seem like a decent, kind of realistic couple. I think they did a decent job with that. Not gonna lie. I mean, this is not even a top tier movie, and yet I would say that their relationship's better than some movies that come out today, which is crazy because that's shouldn't happen. Where the low budget movie, it's clear that it was pretty low budget. I don't know. It's weird to think that this movie was ever in the theaters because it's just so average. But it's interesting in that way. I would, in fact, I would even watch it again. But the VHS was mangled. Like I had to like kind of shove this like piece of cardboard in between the VHS and the player so that it was like you're jamming it in there so that like it's tighter so that the bars don't end up on the screen. Sometimes that happens. I don't know if it's the VHS player being. It's not even that much. It's only 2006. It's kind of weird that they even made VHS players back then, but like in 2006, only 13 years ago. But yeah, pretty solid movie. To get back on track here, it's a pretty solid movie. I'd say it's like, but I'd say to be honest, about 70%.